Are you ready to learn how to flip land for profits? In this video training, you're going to learn the secret land strategies you have never heard about. In fact, you're about to learn the 3 secret weapons you can use to find and flip land for fast cash and cash flow profits. Let's jump right in. What is flipping land? Well, flipping land is very similar to flipping houses. It is finding highly desirable lots of land, which frankly are located all across the country, buying them for pennies on the dollar, in many cases less than $100 per piece of land, and then immediately reselling them for a fast cash and cash flow profit. Now, that's flipping land. Here's where we go sideways on some things. It's not what you traditionally think about finding freeway plots of land at intersections and overpasses that cost millions and millions of dollars. The strategy I'm about to teach you is very different than that. So let's talk about how you can get started. Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to find land target areas. And what I mean by that is every state has large, partially undeveloped areas with tens, hundreds, and even thousands of lots of land available. Now, some of these areas are more desirable than others, and that means that some of these areas you're going to buy land cheap and you're going to have an easier time selling it. So your due diligence weeds out the time waster areas from the very profitable areas. Let's talk about how we actually make that happen. Let's figure out how we weed out the time wasters from the profitable areas. Okay? First of all, you have to understand this. You won't make money fast if you are pioneering in a new area. And so what that means is that in order to find the areas, the secret to being successful flipping land is finding areas with what I call balanced competition. Now, here's the reason. Rather than pioneering a new area, I want you to piggyback on the success of others. So rather than going out there and doing it yourself, find the areas that are already producing profitable cash and cash flow, and piggyback on that success. So let's talk about the secret weapons to success. Fact: hundreds of real estate investors are flipping thousands of vacant lots of land. Now, look at that from a competition standpoint. There's very little competition. Hundreds of real estate investors are flipping thousands and even tens of thousands of vacant lots of land. Your competition is extremely low, but it is easier to find than you think. Let's figure out how we do it. Well, my favorite secret weapon is Google. When you're looking for your competition, Google is an absolute gold mine to find exactly where you can target your land buying and flipping strategies. The second thing is Microsoft MapPoint. In the search and scroll modes on Microsoft MapPoint, I have found extremely good areas to focus my land flipping efforts. And finally, eBay. eBay is one of those secret little hidden things that most people don't really understand how to apply when it comes to real estate. And those are the 3 secret weapons that I have used extremely well to find and target highly profitable land flipping areas. Now, once you've targeted, or once your target area is chosen, here's what you do. You have to get your list. So you need to get the list of properties that you can then create your mailing campaigns and target so that you can buy. So there's 3 ways that I go about getting my list. Number 1, a free way is in the public records. And now that takes a little bit of effort on your case, but most times in the county public records, you can get this information for free. The second is a service called listsource.com. Now, it's not a subscription service. You don't have to pay monthly. You can log in, create a free account, and you can go through the list buying and filtering process yourself and set up all the right targeted parameters. And finally, your local title company. Once you've determined an area that you want to target, your local title company is going to help you create that list. And building the relationship early with your title company is a great way to get started. Finally, then you launch your mailing campaign. Once you launch your mailing campaign, you can sit back and your game is on. And let's talk about why. This is the exciting point. I want to tell you about my personal experience. I recommend, number 1, that you use a phone system. As soon as you launch your mailing campaign, I really want you to have all of these responses coming back to a phone system, and here's why. The response rate in a well-chosen area for a land flipper is 200+% what a normal mailing campaign gets. It is unbelievable, and you don't want all these calls coming to your personal cell phone or to your personal house. The money is in the follow-up. And once you learn how to create a compelling scripted offer that is based around the motivation of the landowner, you're going to be well on your way to buying land for pennies on the dollar. So the key is getting your offers accepted. Now, you're going to target land with retail values generally between $1,500 and $10,000 in most cases. And you will buy most of this land for less than $1,000. In fact, I have paid less than $25 to buy and own land free and clear. Now, I'm not talking about tax liens. I'm not talking about tax deeds. You actually own the land. You get title. For less than $25, I have bought and taken title to lots of land all across the country. Now, conventional selling strategies don't work. Okay, we've just talked about how you buy, but how do you sell? See, although we have targeted the right areas based on our competition research, realtors typically don't work to get these lots sold. Okay, the MLS is not the right place to market your land for sale and for profit. And for sale by owner using traditional listing strategies are just a waste of time. It falls to you to learn how to do this in a way that actually works. So the question becomes, how do we sell this land that we have just bought for pennies on the dollar? Well, let's talk about the selling methods that do work. The first thing is to understand this. The selling key lies in the details. The details of how you do this are really important. And I want you to create a hungry, land-specific buyers list based on your competitor research. And it's frankly easier to do. But let me tell you this. The ultimate strategy is to make a selling offer so compelling that almost everyone becomes your buyer. Once you crack this code, you're going to be able to sell all of your lots and all of your land very, very quickly. Does it really work? Well, the obvious answer is yes. I've personally done it, and that's the only reason I'm doing this training today and teaching you about this strategy and even sharing it with you to begin with. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to claim your free Land for Pennies video training. I want you to do it right now because I'm also going to give you the opportunity to hear firsthand how I have personally used these techniques to buy land absolutely dirt cheap. It works. I'm living proof. I've personally done it, and I want you to do it as well. So here's what you do. To learn how you can start investing in land today, I want you to claim your free Land for Pennies video report and hear how I have successfully used these strategies myself. Just visit us online at flipcheapland.com. Okay, visit us online at flipcheapland.com. When you get to the site, I want you to put in your first name and your primary email address in the form and hit the click the submit button. Put your first name and primary email address in the form at flipcheapland.com and click the submit button. I'm going to take you to the very next page where I have some special information for you on the Land for Pennies video report. Until next time, thanks for watching.